Now here we are given that A and B are two matrices different from identity matrices such that AB equals BA. That is, A and B are commutative in multiplication. Now if A to the power n minus B to the power n is invertible for positive integer n, and if A to the power n minus B to the power n, it is equal to A to the power n plus 1 minus B to the power n plus 1, and A to the power n plus 2 is equal to B to the power n plus 2, then which of the following is correct? Now what we'll do is, we'll start with A to the power n plus 2 minus B to the power of n plus 2. Now we can write this as A plus B into A to the power n plus 1 minus B to the power of n plus 1. So we'll get A to the power n plus 2 minus B to the power n plus 2, and we'll also get A into B to the power n plus 1 and B into A to the power n plus 1. And since AB equals BA, we need to subtract minus AB into A to the power n minus B to the power n. And the question, it says all of them, they are equal. So if all of them, they are equal and A to the power n minus B to the power n is invertible, then if we take inverse, then we can write I equals A plus B minus AB, or A plus B equals AB plus I, which is your option C. Now we can rewrite this as A minus AB and then minus I plus B, will be 0. So if we take this A, then we can write I minus B into minus 1 I minus B equals 0. So it will be A minus I into I minus B, it is equal to 0. Or we can write I minus A into I minus B, it is equal to 0. Now if determinant of I minus A, it is unequal to 0, then we can multiply it with I minus A inverse. In that case, we'll get B equals I. But in the question it says B and A, they are matrices different from I. So if B is unequal to I, that means I minus A inverse, it must not exist, and it will not exist if determinant of I minus A, it should be 0. And with the same logic, if I is unequal to A, then this determinant, it must be 0. Inverse of I minus B should not exist. So this determinant of I minus B will be 0. So I minus A is singular, I minus B is singular, and their product also will be a singular matrix. So this option D is incorrect. So the correct options are A, B and C. Now here the questions, we are given this matrix P where alpha is any real number and Q is a matrix such that P into Q is K into I, and it also says Q23 is minus K by 8. If determinant of Q is K square by 2, then which of the following options is or are correct? Now first what we'll do is, we'll find determinant of P. Now we find determinant of P will be this 3 into 5 alpha, which is 15 alpha, and then minus minus plus 1, so it will be minus 3 alpha, and then minus 2 minus 10 will be plus 20. So value of determinant of P, it will be 12 alpha plus 20. Now the question, it says P into Q is K into I. Now if we take its determinant, we write determinant of P into determinant of Q will be equal to determinant of K into I. And since it is a 3 cross 3 matrix, there will be simply KQ. Now determinant of P is 12 alpha plus 20. So there will be 12 alpha plus 20 into determinant of Q. Determinant of Q is K square by 2. So it will be K square by 2 and it will be equal to K cube. Now this K square and K square will cancel. So we'll get this equation as 6 alpha plus 10. It is equal to K, and this is our first equation. Now it is given that PQ equals KI. Now since Now since determinant of P into Q is K cube and K is unequal to 0, determinant of P is unequal to 0. That means this P is invertible matrix. From here we can write Q is K into P inverse. And this P inverse is nothing but 1 upon determinant of P into adjoint of P. Now this is K upon determinant of P, and determinant of P is 12 alpha plus 20 into adjoint of P. Now in this we need to find Q23. Now Q23 is K upon 12 alpha plus 20 into adjoint P23. Now adjoint is transpose of cofactor. So basically it will be K upon 12 alpha plus 20 into C32 for this matrix P. Now C32 is third row second column, and there will be 3 alpha plus 4. So it will be K into, now 3 plus 2 is odd, so it will be this minus 1 into, now C32 is 3 alpha plus 4. So it will be minus 1 into 3 alpha plus 4 upon 12 alpha plus 20. Now it is given that it is equal to minus K by 8. Now here K and K will cancel. We'll cancel this minus with minus and we'll cancel 4. So it will be 2 and this is 3 and 5. So we'll write 6 alpha plus 8 will be equal to 3 alpha plus 5. So basically value of alpha will be minus 1. So now we have alpha which is minus 1, and if we put alpha is minus 1, we'll get K as 4. So value of alpha is minus 1 and value of K is 4. So this option A, it is incorrect. Now 4A is basically 4 alpha. So it will be minus 4 and then minus K. There will be minus 4 plus 8 and it is 0. That means this option B, it is correct. Now we'll find determinant of P. Now determinant of P is 12 alpha plus 20 and alpha is minus 1. So determinant of P is 8 and determinant of Q is K square by 2, which is 16 by 2. Determinant of Q is also 8. And we know that determinant of adjoint P for 3 cross 3 matrix, it is equal to P square, which in this case will be 64. And in the same way, adjoint of Q will be determinant of Q square and there will also be 64. Now determinant of P into adjoint of Q, there will be determinant of P into determinant of Q square. Now P is 2Q and this is 2 to the power 6. So it will be 2 to the power 9. That means option C is correct. And here will be determinant of Q into determinant of P square, which again is 2 to the power 9. So option D is incorrect. So the correct options are B and C. Now here the question is, let A and B be two non-singular matrices such that A b to the power k equals A to the power k b to the power k for 3 consecutive positive integral values of k, then match the following. Now if it is true for 3 consecutive integral values of k, let us say it is true for n, a b to the power n, it is equal to a to the power n into b to the power n. Now a b to the power n plus 1 will be a to the power n plus 1 into b to the power of n plus 1 and ab to the power n plus 2, let it be equal to a to the power n plus 2 into b to the power of n plus 2. Now using these 3 conditions, we have to work out some standard result. Now what we'll do is, we'll start with ab to the power n plus 1. Now we can write ab to the power n plus 1 as ab to the power n into ab, and ab to the power n is a to the power n into b to the power n. So we can write this as a to the power n into b to the power n into ab. Now this is a to the power n plus 1, b to the power n plus 1. So we can write a to the power n plus 1 into b to the power n plus 1 will be equal to a to the power n b to the power n into a into b. Now if we take inverse with a to the power n left side, then we can write a b to the power n plus 1 will be equal to b to the power n ab, and if we take b inverse from right, then we can write ab to the power n will be equal to b to the power n into a, and this is the first result that we have. Now in the same way, if we start from ab to the power n plus 2, then we'll get this result a b to the power n plus 1 will be equal to b to the power n plus 1 into a. Now on the left hand side, we can write this as ab into b to the power n, and here we'll write this as b into b to the power n into a, and b to the power n into a is a into b to the power n. So we can write this as ba into b to the power n. Now if we take inverse with b to the power n, then we can simply write ab, it is equal to ba. So from the given condition, we have worked out this ab, it must be equal to ba. So now we have this result, which is ab equals ba. Now here we need ab a inverse. So if we multiply a inverse to the right, then we can write ab a inverse, it is b a into a inverse, which is I. So this is simply equal to b. So this a, it matches with q. So this a, it matches with q. Now ba b inverse. Now here we'll multiply b inverse to the right. So we can write ba b inverse, and there'll be simply ab b inverse. So they'll be equal to a. So this ba b inverse will be mapped to r. So this b, it matches with r. Now the next one is a b square a inverse. So if we write a b square a inverse, we can write this as ab into ba inverse. Now ab is ba, so we can write this as b ab a inverse, and ab a inverse is b, so it will be equal to b square. So this a b square a inverse, it matches with s. So this c, it matches with s. In the same way, b a square b inverse will be b a into a b inverse. Now b a is a b, so it will be a b a b inverse, and b a b inverse is a. So it will be nothing but a square. So this d, it matches with a. So this d, it matches with p. So answer is QRSP. Now here the question is, we are given this matrix P, which is 1 0 0 4 1 0 16 4 1, and it says Q is a matrix such that P to the power 50 minus Q, and it is equal to I. Then we need to find Q31 plus Q32 upon Q21. Now what we'll do is, we'll write this P as 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, which is your identity matrix, and plus this matrix, which is 0 0 0 4 0 0 and 16 4 and 0. Now this is I, and suppose this matrix is A. Now we'll first find A square. Now A square will be 0 0 0 4 0 0 16 4 0 into 0 0 0 4 0 0 and 16 4 0. Now we multiply them, we'll get this as 0 0 0. Now this is 0 0 and 0, and here will be 16 0 0. So value of A square will be 0 0 0 0 0 0 and 16 0 0. Now we find A cube will be 0 0 0 0 0 0 and 16 0 0, and here it will be 0 0 0 4 0 0 16 4 0. Now we multiply, this is 0 0 0 0, 0, 0. Now we multiply this, it'll again be 0, 0, 0. So basically, A, it is a nilpotent matrix whose index is 3. So A to the power n will be 0 for any n which is greater than or equal to 3. Now we need to find P to the power 50. Now we write P to the power 50 as I plus A to the power 50. Now I plus A to the power 50 is 50C0 into I plus 50C1 into A plus 50C2 into A square and plus all other higher powers of A, they'll be null matrices. So we can write P to the power 50, 50C0 is 1, so it will be I, and plus 50A and plus 50C2 is 50 into 49 by 2, which is 1225 into A square. Now we'll take this I on the left hand side, so we can write P to the power 50 minus I will be equal to 50A, and A is 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 16, 4, 0, and plus 1225 into A square, and A square is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 16, 0, 0. And this is nothing but this is Q. Now in the question it says we need to find the value of Q31 plus Q32 upon Q21. Now Q31 is 50 into 16 plus 1225 into 16 plus Q32, and Q32 is 50 into 4 whole divided by now Q21, and Q21 is 50 into 4. So it will be 20600 upon 200, which is 103. So value of this expression is 103, and that's your option B. Now the question is, if A is an idempotent matrix and I is an identity matrix of the same order, then value of n such that A plus I to the power n is I plus 127A is. Now if A is idempotent, it simply means that A square equals A. Now AQ will be again A square, again it'll be A. So any power of A which is greater than 2 will always be A. Now if we find A plus I to the power n, we can write this as NC0, A to the power n, NC1, A to the power n minus 1, NC, n minus 1 into A, and then NCn into I. Now A to the power n, A to the power n minus 1, A square, they are all A. So we can write this as A into NC0 plus NC1 plus NCn minus 1 and then plus I. Now this is 2 to the power n minus 1 into A plus I. Now it is given that it is equal to 127A. So that means 2 to the power of n minus 1 equals 127, or 2 to the power n equals 128, which is 2 to the power 7. So value of n here is 7. So this A, it matches with R. Now here the question is, if I minus A inverse is equal to I plus A square up to A to the power 7, then A to the power n is 0. We need to find the value of this n. Now basically I minus A inverse is inverse matrix of I minus A. So what we'll do is we'll multiply I minus A with I minus A inverse, and we know that A into A inverse is equal to I. So it'll be I minus A into I plus A square up to A to the power 7. Now it'll be equal to I. Now we multiply them, we can write this as I plus A square plus A to the power 7 and then minus, now this is A minus A square minus A to the power 7 minus A to the power 8, and it will be equal to I. Now this I and I will cancel. Now this A square, A to the power 7 will cancel. So from here the only condition that we'll get here is a to the power 8 equals 0. So a to the power n will be 0 if n is greater than or equal to 8. So here we can take any value of n which is 8 or greater than 8. So B, it matches with P, Q and S. Now the next one is, if A is a matrix such that Aij is I plus j upon I minus j, then A is singular if the order of matrix is. Now if we write Aii will be 0 and then Aij is I plus j into I minus j and Aji will be j plus I into j minus I, which is minus Aij. That means this is a skew-symmetric matrix. Now we know that determinant of skew-symmetric matrix of odd order, it is equal to 0. So this matrix will be singular if its order is odd. And the odd entries here are 9 and 7. So this C, it matches with P and R. Now D is, if a non-singular matrix A is symmetric such that A inverse is also symmetric, then order of A is. Now if A is symmetric, then A transpose, it is equal to A. Now A inverse transpose is A transpose inverse and A transpose is A. So it will be A inverse. So A inverse will also be a symmetric matrix. So if A is symmetric, then A inverse is also symmetric for any square matrix. So it will be true for any value of n. So this D, it matches with all P, Q, R and S. Now here the question is, we are given this A, which is 0, minus tan alpha, 0, and B, which is cos alpha, minus sin alpha and cos alpha. Now if we write I plus A will be 1 minus tan alpha and 1, and I minus A, it will be 1 tan alpha minus tan alpha and 1. Now determinant of I plus A will be same as determinant of I minus A, and will be 1 plus tan square alpha, and 1 plus tan square alpha is secant square alpha. So now we can write inverse of both. So we can write I plus A inverse as, now 1 upon determinant will be 1 upon secant square alpha, which actually will be cos square alpha, and into, now we'll interchange A and D. So this is 1 and 1, and here we'll change the sign. So it will be tan alpha and minus tan alpha, and in the same way I minus A inverse will be cos square alpha and then 1 minus tan alpha and it will be equal to 1. Now first we'll find I plus A into I minus A inverse. So I plus A into I minus A inverse will be, now I plus A is this value and I minus A inverse is this value. So it will be this cos square alpha, and then if we multiply them, it will be 1 minus tan square alpha minus 2 tan alpha, 2 tan alpha, and will be 1 minus tan square alpha. Now we multiply cos square alpha here, it will be cos 2 alpha minus sin 2 alpha, and cos 2 alpha, which is nothing but, which is B 2 alpha. So this A, it matches with Q. And the second one, we have I minus A into I plus A inverse. So I minus A into I plus A inverse will be cos square alpha, and then now we'll multiply I minus A with I plus A inverse. Now we multiply them, we'll get 1 minus tan square alpha, and then it'll be 2 tan alpha minus 2 tan alpha and then 1 minus tan square alpha, which is cos 2 alpha sin 2 alpha minus sin 2 alpha and cos 2 alpha, and which is nothing but which is b minus 2 alpha. So that means this b, it matches with R. Now the next one is b square alpha. So we'll multiply b alpha and there will be cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha into cos alpha minus sin alpha into cos alpha. Now we multiply them, we'll get cos square alpha minus sin square alpha, which is cos 2 alpha. Now here will be minus cos alpha sin alpha minus cos alpha sin alpha, which is minus sin 2 alpha. Here will be sin 2 alpha and here will be cos 2 alpha, which again is nothing but which is b 2 alpha. So that means this C, it matches with Q. Now the next one is we need to find b alpha to the power minus 2. Basically it is square of inverse of b alpha. Now we know that b square of b inverse alpha will be same as inverse of b square alpha. Now we have already worked out b square alpha. Now determinant of b square alpha will be cos square 2 alpha plus sin square 2 alpha, which is 1. So its inverse will be simply, we'll interchange a and d. So it will be cos 2 alpha, and we change the sign of b and c. So it will be sin 2 alpha and minus sin 2 alpha, which is nothing but which is b minus 2 alpha. So this d, it matches with R. So answer to this question is QR. Now here the question is, we are given this matrix A, which is 1 0 0, 2 1 0 and 3 2 1. We are given three equations, AX1, AX2 and AX3, and let X be this matrix whose columns are X1, X2 and X3. Now first we'll find X1, X2 and X3. Now if we write any general equation, say AXI, this AXI will be simply this 1 0 0, 2 1 0 and 3 2 1, and it will be multiplied with this column matrix Xi, Yi and Zi. Now we multiply them, we'll get this as Xi 2Xi plus Yi, and this is 3Xi plus 2Yi plus Zi. Now we take this first equation where AX1 is equal to 1 0 0, we'll get X1 equals 1, 2X1 plus Y1 equals 0 and 3X1 plus 2Y1 plus Z1 equals 0. Now we solve this, we'll get X1 equals 1, Y1 equals minus 2 and Z1 equals 1. Now from this second equation, we can write X2 equals 2, 2X2 plus Y2 equals 3 and 3X2 plus 2Y2 plus Z2 equals 0. Now from here, we'll get the result that X2 is 2, Y2 is minus 1, and here will be 6 minus 2. So value of Z2 will be minus 4. And if we solve this third one, now here first two equations, they'll be same. So we'll get same values of X3 and Y3. So here X3 will be 2, Y3 will be minus 1. Now this third equation, it won't be 0, it will be equal to 1. So we'll get minus 4 plus 1. So value of Z3 will now be minus 3. So this matrix X will be 1 minus 2, 1, 2 minus 1, minus 4, and 2 minus 1 and minus 3. Now the first question is we need to find determinant of x. Now for determinant of x, if we subtract this second column from this third column, we'll get this as 0, 0, 1. So if we expand it about this third column, then it'll be minus 1 plus 4, which is 3. So value of this determinant is 3, and that's your option C. Now the next one is sum of elements of x inverse. Now we know that x inverse is 1 upon determinant of x into adjoint of x. So for that, first what we'll do is we'll find adjoint of x. Adjoint of x will be, now this is 3 minus 4 minus 1. Next one will be this minus and then 6 plus 1, 7. So there'll be minus 7, and then it'll be this 9 minus 2 minus 5, 6 and 0 minus 3 and 3, and its transpose, which is minus 1 minus 2, 0 minus 7 minus 5 minus 3, and it'll be this 9, 6 and 3. Now x inverse is 1 upon determinant of x, which is 3, into adjoint of x. Now we need not find x inverse, we just need to find sum of elements of x inverse. Now sum of elements of x inverse will be this 1 by 3, and then sum of elements of this adjoint. So it will be minus 3, minus 7, minus 10, minus 15, minus 18, and minus 18 and plus 18 will be 0. So sum of elements of x inverse will be simply 0, and that's your option B. And finally, we need to find value of this A. If we multiply 320 with x, and then we multiply this column matrix 320. Now first we'll find this product. So this 320 into, now x is 1, 2, 2, minus 2, minus 1, minus 1, and this is 1, minus 4, minus 3. Now we'll multiply them. Now this first one will be 3 minus 4, which is minus 1. Here it is 6 minus 2, 4, and then it'll be 6 minus 2, 4. So this product is minus 1, 4, 4, and then we have to multiply it with 320. Now we'll multiply 1, 4, 4 with 320. Now it'll be this minus 3 plus 8, which is 5. So value of A is simply 5, and that's your option A. Now here the question is, a square matrix A is said to be orthogonal if A transpose into A equals A into A transpose, and it is equal to I. Now it says, if A and B are orthogonal matrices of same size, then which of the following is an orthogonal matrix? Now we are given that A into A transpose, it is equal to I, and B into B transpose, it is also equal to I. Now if we look at AB into AB transpose, it will be AB into B transpose into A transpose. Now B into B transpose, it is equal to I, so we can write this as A into A transpose, and it is also equal to I. That means this AB, it is an orthogonal matrix. Now the next one is, if K is a complex number and KA is an orthogonal matrix, then which of the following is correct? Now if KA is orthogonal, that means KA into KA dash, it must be equal to I. So we'll get K square into AA dash, it is equal to I, or mod of K square equals 1, that is mod of K equals 1. Now if K is a complex number, then this K, it will represent all the points lying on this unit circle having center at origin. Then K must be nth root of unity, not necessary. Imaginary, not necessary. Must be a positive real number, no. So it is none of these, this option D. Now the next question is, if A is real skew-symmetric matrix, that means A plus A transpose is 0 and such that A square plus I is 0. Now if A square plus I is 0, that means A square it is equal to minus I, or determinant of A square it is equal to determinant of minus I. Now determinant of minus I is minus 1 to the power n. Now since A is a real matrix, that means this n, it must be an even number. So if n is even, then we can write determinant of A will be plus or minus 1. So this equation will make sense if and only if n is an even number. Now we multiply this first equation with A, we can write A square plus A dash equals 0. Now A square is minus I, so we can write A dash, it is equal to I. So this A will be orthogonal matrix of even order, and that's your option C. Now the next one is if both A minus 1 by 2 I and A plus 1 by 2 I are orthogonal matrices, then which of the following is correct? Now from this first one we can write A minus 1 by 2 I into A minus 1 by 2 I transpose, it is equal to I. Now we can write A minus 1 by 2 I, and this is A transpose minus 1 by 2 I will be equal to I, or A transpose minus 1 by 2A minus 1 by 2 A transpose plus 1 by 4I, it is equal to I. Now from this second one we can write A plus 1 by 2I into A plus 1 by 2I dash, it is also 1. So we can write A dash plus 1 by 2A plus 1 by 2A dash plus 1 by 4I, and will be equal to I. Now we subtract first from second, then we'll simply get A plus A transpose equals 0. That means A is skew-symmetric. Now if A is skew-symmetric, then A plus A transpose is 0. We can write A into A dash will be 3 by 4I, or determinant of A square will be 3 by 4 to the power n. Now we know that determinant of skew-symmetric matrix, it is 0 if it is of odd order, and this determinant it is non-zero. That means it is a skew-symmetric matrix of even order. So it should be this option A. Now here the question is, we are given this matrix M, which is 0, 1A, 1, 2, 3 and 3B1, and we are given adjoint of M as minus 1, 1, minus 1, 8, minus 6, 2, minus 5, 3 and minus 1, then which of the following options is or are correct? Now first what we'll do is, we know that M into adjoint of M, it is equal to determinant of M into I. Now we find M into adjoint M, if we multiply then we'll get, now this is 8 minus 5A, here will be minus 6 plus 3A, and we won't write everything, we'll write this third one and first one. So it will be minus 3 plus 8B minus 5. So there will be 8B minus 8, and it will be equal to this determinant of M into 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1. Now we compare entries in this column and entries in this column, then we'll get B as 1 and A as 2. So we'll get the value of B as 1 and value of A as 2, which means A plus B is 3. So option D is correct. Now we find determinant of M, we'll put A as 2 and we'll put B as 1. So determinant of M will be, now this is 1 minus 9, so it will be plus 8, and then 2, it will be 1 minus 5, so it will be minus 10. Determinant of m will be simply minus 2. Now if we look at the C is determinant of adjoint of m square. Now we know that determinant of adjoint is determinant of a square. So here it will be determinant of m square whole square, and there will be determinant m to the power 4, and which is 16. Which means this option C, it is incorrect. Now if we look at this equation, B equals m alpha beta gamma 1 2 3. Now since determinant of m is unequal to 0, then if we multiply its inverse, then we can write this alpha beta gamma will be m inverse into 1 2 3. Now m inverse is 1 upon determinant of m, which is minus 1 by 2, into adjoint of m, which is given as minus 1 1 minus 1, 8 minus 6 2, minus 5 3 minus 1, into 1 2 3. Now if we multiply them, we'll get it as minus 1 by 2. Now this is minus 1 plus 2 minus 3, which is minus 2. Now this is 8 minus 12 plus 6, which is plus 2, and this is minus 5 plus 6 minus 3. So it will be minus 2. So value of alpha is 1, value of beta is minus 1, and value of gamma is plus 1. So now we have alpha, beta and gamma. Now alpha is 1, beta is minus 1, and gamma is 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. That means this option B is also correct. Now we look at this option A, which is adjoint of m inverse plus adjoint m inverse, it is equal to minus m. Now first we'll find adjoint of m inverse. Now we know adjoint of m is determinant of m into m inverse, and inverse of that will be 1 upon determinant of m, then inverse of m inverse is nothing but m. And we'll also calculate adjoint of m inverse. Now adjoint of m inverse will be determinant of m inverse into inverse of m inverse, so which again will be 1 upon determinant of m into m. Now if we add these two, then we'll write adjoint of m inverse plus adjoint m inverse will be simply 2m by determinant of m. Now this is 2m, and determinant of m is minus 2, so it will be minus 2. So this expression will be equal to minus m. That means this option A is also correct. So the correct options are A, B and D. Now the question is, let M be 3 cross 3 invertible matrix with real entries and I be identity matrix. If M inverse, it is equal to adjoint of adjoint M, then which of the following statement is or are always true? Now we know that adjoint of M will be determinant of M into M inverse. Now adjoint of adjoint M will be determinant of adjoint M into adjoint of M inverse. Now we know that it is a 3 cross 3 matrix. That means determinant of adjoint M is simply determinant of M square, and adjoint M is determinant of M into M inverse. Now here it is determinant of M square. Now this is 1 upon determinant of M. Now inverse of M inverse is simply M. Now this determinant M will cancel. So adjoint of adjoint M will be determinant of M into M. So what we're given is, we are given that this M inverse, it is equal to determinant of M into M. Now we take determinant both sides, we write determinant of M inverse will be equal to determinant of M. Now k into M is k to the power n, so there will be determinant of M cube into determinant of M, and determinant of M inverse is 1 upon determinant of M. So we'll get determinant of M to the power 5 equals 1, or the value of determinant of M will be 1. That means this option B is correct. So if determinant of M is 1, we can write this M inverse will be equal to M, and we multiply it with M, we'll write m into m inverse will be equal to m square, and m into m inverse is I. So that means this option C is also correct. Now we find adjoint of m square. Now we write adjoint of m. Adjoint of m will be simply determinant of m, which is 1, into m inverse. Now m inverse is equal to m, so it will be equal to m. Now we square it, we'll write adjoint of m square, and it will be equal to m square, and m square is I. So adjoint of m square will also be I. So the correct options are B, C and D. Now here the question is, we are given this determinant which is 0, 2x minus 2, 2x plus 8, x minus 1, 4, x square plus 7, 0, 0 and x plus 4, and this function fx is this summation j varies from 1 to 3, and then this summation I varies from 1 to 3, and this is aij into cij. Now if we vary this I, we can write this as this summation j varies from 1 to 3, and here will be a1j c1j plus a2j c2j and plus a3j into c3j. Basically this is expansion of determinant about first column, and this is nothing but this is determinant of this matrix. So this is equal to this j varies from 1 to 3 and this delta. Now summation of this delta is simply 3 delta. So this function fx, it is nothing but it is 3 times value of this determinant. Now if we expand this determinant about first column, we'll get this as minus x minus 1, and then it'll be 2x minus 2 into x plus 4. So basically this function fx will be minus 6 x minus 1 square into x plus 4. Now we need to find greatest value of fx in this interval from minus 3 to 18. Now if we find f dash x will be, now this is minus 6 and this is x minus 1 square and then plus x plus 4 into 2x minus 1. Now we'll take x minus 1 common, so it will be 6x minus 1, and here will be x minus 1 plus 2x plus 8, which is minus 6x minus 1 into 3x plus 7, and it will be equal to 0. Now here the critical points are 1 and minus 7 by 3. Now we need to find absolute maximum value of this function between minus 3 and 18. Now f minus 3 will be this minus 6. Now this is minus 4 square, and here will be this value 1, so which is 16 into 6, and which is minus 96. Now f minus 7 by 3, this value will be minus 6. Now minus 7 by 3 minus 1, that will be 10 by 3 square into, now this is minus 7 by 3 plus 4, which is 12 minus 7, 5 by 3. Now this value will be minus 1000 by 3. Now value at 1 is 0. Value at 18 will be minus 6. 18 minus 1 is 17 square, and then 18 plus 4, it is 22. Now this value is also less than 0. Now f minus 3 is negative, f minus 7 by 3 is negative, f 18 is also negative. So the maximum value of this function in this interval is 0, and we'll get this maximum value at x equals 1. So the greatest value of fx in this interval is 0, and that is the answer to this question. Now here the question is, we are given a and b, then we need to find which of the following is correct. Now if we find a, b, then a into b is simply cos alpha minus sin alpha, cos alpha into cos 2 beta, sin 2 beta, sine 2 beta and minus cos 2 beta. So this is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So it will be cos A plus B. So this is cos alpha plus 2 beta. And here it is cos A sin B plus sin A cos B. So it will be sin alpha plus 2 beta. Now here this is sin A cos B cos A sin B, which again is sin alpha plus 2 beta. And here it is sin A sin B minus cos A cos B. So it will be minus cos A plus B, which is cos alpha plus 2 beta. Now if we take multiplication of AB with AB, now this is suppose theta. So we can write this as cos theta sin theta minus cos theta into cos theta sin theta, and this is sin theta and minus cos theta. Now we multiply them, we get cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is 1. This is sin theta cos theta minus sin theta cos theta 0. Sin theta cos theta, it is 0. And this is sin square theta plus cos square theta, which is 1. So from here we get this condition that AB square, it is equal to I. That means this option A, it is correct. Now clearly determinant of AB, it is unequal to 0. So if we multiply it with AB inverse, we can write this as AB and it will be equal to AB inverse. That means this option B is also correct. Now we can write this AB square as AB and it is equal to I. Now if we take inverse with A, then we can write BAB will be equal to A inverse. So option C is also correct. Now we need to check this fourth option, which is the least positive value of alpha, for which B a to the power 4b equals A inverse is 2 pi by 3. Now if we look at this condition, we are given that B a to the power 4b, it is equal to A inverse. Now if we multiply it with B inverse, we can write this as A to the power 4b will be equal to B inverse into A inverse, which is nothing but which is AB inverse. Now it is A cube into AB and it will be equal to AB inverse. Now the second part we already know AB inverse is equal to AB. So from here we'll get this condition that this A cube, it must be equal to I. Now we multiply A with A, we'll get A square, and A square will be cos square alpha minus sin square alpha. There will be cos 2 alpha minus sin 2 alpha, and here will be sin 2 alpha cos 2 alpha, and we multiply it again, we'll get A cube as cos 3 alpha minus sin 3 alpha plus sin 3 alpha, and this is cos 3 alpha. Now it should be equal to 1001. Now it means this cos 3 alpha, it should be 1, and sin 3 alpha, it should be 0. Now this is possible when 3 alpha is equal to 2 pi. So the minimum value of alpha will be simply 2 pi by 3. That means this option D is also correct. Now here the question is, if determinant of A is 2, then determinant of 2A inverses. Now we know that determinant of K into A is K to the power n into determinant of A. So it will be this 2 cube into determinant of A inverse, which is 2 cube upon determinant of A, and determinant of A is since 2. So this value, it is equal to 4. So this A, it matches with Q. Now the second one is, if determinant of A is 1 by 8, then determinant of adjoint of 2 A's. Now we know that determinant of adjoint A is determinant of A to the power n minus 1. Now here order is 3, so n minus 1 is 2 to the power 2. So it will be this 2A to the power 4. Now determinant of K into A is K to the power n. So it will be 2 cube and there will be 2 to the power 12 into determinant of A to the power 4. Now this is 2 to the power 12 and determinant of A is 1 by 8. So it will be 1 upon 2 to the power 12, and which is 1. So basically this B, it matches with B. So B, it matches with B. Now this third one is, if A plus B square equals A square plus B square and determinant of A is 2, then determinant of B is what? If A and B are of odd order. Now we can write this as A square plus AB plus BA plus B square will be equal to A square plus B square. Now A square plus B square will cancel. So from here we can write AB equals minus BA. Now we take determinant both sides, then determinant of AB, it is equal to determinant of minus BA. Now since order of this matrix is an odd number, so it will be minus 1 to the power n, so it will be simply minus determinant of BA, and minus determinant of BA is determinant of AB. So from here we can say determinant of AB is 0. Now since determinant of A is unequal to 0, it means this determinant of B, it must be 0. So this C, it matches with S. And then we have this determinant of A as 2, determinant of B as 3, and determinant of C as 4. We need to find determinant of A, B, C. Now we cannot write this as determinant of A into determinant of B into determinant of C. Why? Because this product itself is not feasible. So if A is 2 cross 2 and B is 3 cross 3, we cannot multiply A with B in the same way. C is 4 cross 4, so this multiplication is not allowed. So this D is this option T, which is does not exist. So this determinant of ABC, it will not exist. Now here the question is, if A is 2, 1, minus 4, minus 2, then the value of the series, which is I plus 2A plus 3A square up to infinite is. Now what we'll do is, we'll say, let this sum be some matrix, say S, and it is given by I plus 2A plus 3A square, and it goes up to infinite. Now we'll write this series again, but now we'll multiply it with A, and we'll displace this series by one term. So it'll be A plus 2A square up to infinite. Now we'll subtract the second from first. We can write I minus AS will be this I plus A square up to infinite. Now we multiply it with I minus A again. So we can write I minus A square into S will be I minus A into I plus A square up to infinite. Now this right hand side will be I plus A square, and then it will be minus A square minus A cube up to infinite. Now this A square, all these matrices, they'll cancel. So we can write I minus A square S, it is equal to I. And basically this sum, it is equal to this inverse of I minus A square. Now if we find I minus A will be 1 minus 2 minus 1 minus 1 4 and 3, and if we square it, we'll get minus 1 4 3. Now this is 1 minus 4 minus 3. This is 1 minus 3 minus 2. This is minus 4 and 12, 8. And here it is minus 4 plus 9, and it will be simply 5. Now we have to find its inverse, and for that first we'll find its determinant. So determinant of I minus A square will be minus 15 plus 16, it is 1. So this I minus A square inverse will be simply, now we'll interchange A and D, so it will be 5 minus 3, and we'll change the sign of B and C. So there'll be plus 2 and minus 8. Now it is given that this matrix is alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Now we need to find the sum of alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Now this sum will be a mod of alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta will be mod of, now this is 7 minus 11, which is mod of minus 4, and it is 4. So numerical value of this sum is 4, and that is the answer to this question. Now here the question is, we are given three matrices E, P and F. Now this first one is P square equals identity matrix. Now if we take this P and if we find P square will be this 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0, and then here will be 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0. Now if we multiply them, we'll get 1 0 0. Now here will be 0 1 0, and this one will be 0 0 and 1, which means the value of P square is I. So P square equals identity matrix, it is correct. Now what about this? F equals PEP. Now for this what we'll do is we'll find EP. Now E is 1 2 3 2 3 4 8 13 18, and P is 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0. Now here will be 1, here will be 3, and here it is 2. And the same way will be 2, 4 and 3, and here will be 8, 18 and 13. Now if we find PEP will be 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0, and this is 1 3 2 2 4 3 and 8 18 and 13. Now again if we multiply it, we'll get 1 3 and 2. Now here will be 8 18 and 13, and this one will be 2 4 and 3, which is nothing but F. That means this option A, it is correct. Now if we find determinant of E we can write this is 1 2 3 2 3 4, and this is 8 13 and 18. Now what we'll do is we'll write C3 as C3 minus C2 and C2 as C2 minus C1. Now this is 1 1 and 18 minus 3 is 5. Here also it is 1 1 and 13 minus 8 is 5. Since we have two identical columns, value of this determinant is 0. Now we know that determinant of PEP will be equal to determinant of F, and determinant of P is minus 1. So determinant of E will be same as determinant of F, and they are 0. So this left hand side is 0 and this right hand side is 0. That means this option C is incorrect. Now for this B, if we look at this right hand side is determinant of EQ plus determinant of PF Q inverse. Now this is determinant of E into determinant of Q, and this is determinant of P into determinant of F into determinant of Q inverse. Now determinant of E is 0 and determinant of F is 0, which means this right hand side it is 0. Now if we look at its left hand side is determinant of EQ, it is PFQ inverse. Now from this first relation, which is F equals PEP, we multiply it with P, we can write PF equals P square EP, and P square is I. So this PF, it can actually be expressed as E into P. So we'll write this as EQ into EP Q inverse. Now here we can write this as determinant of E into determinant of Q plus P Q inverse. Now determinant of E again is 0. So right hand side is 0 and left hand side is 0. That means this option B is also correct. Now if we look at this fourth option, P inverse EP. Now since P square equals I and determinant of P is -1. P inverse exists. Now we multiply it with P inverse, we can write P equals P inverse. So basically this is PEP and plus F. Now PEP, it is nothing but F. So this first term, it is nothing but 2F. So trace of P inverse EP plus F, it is 2 times trace of F. And trace of F is 18 plus 4, 22, which is 44. Now the same way, if we look at this entry, it is E plus P inverse FP. Now since P is same as P inverse, so we can write P inverse F equals EP, and if we multiply with P, we can write this as EP square, and P square is I, so it will be nothing but E. So this second expression, it is nothing but 2E, and its trace, it will be trace of 2E, which is 2 times trace of E, and trace of E is again 22. So this is again 44. So sum of diagonal entries of these two matrices, they are equal. So the correct options are A, B and D. This fourth option, we can also do it using properties of trace. Now we know that trace of P inverse EP plus F will be equal to trace of P inverse EP plus trace of F. Now trace of P inverse EP, it will be trace of E, and this is trace of F. In the same way, for the second one also, we can show it is equal to trace of E plus trace of F. So for both the matrices, sum of diagonal entries will always be same. Now here the question is, let M be a determinant and E and F be two matrices such that I minus EF is invertible. That is, determinant of I minus EF is unequal to 0. Now it also says, if G is I minus EF inverse, then which of the following statements is or are true? Now if G is inverse of this matrix, then G into I minus EF will be equal to I minus EF into G, and it must be equal to I. Now this is G minus GEF, it must be equal to G minus EFG, and it must be equal to I. Now we compare these two expressions, then from here we can write GEF, it must be equal to EFG. That means this option C, it is correct. So this is a option C. Now we look at this option B, which is I minus FE into I plus FGE. Now this is I minus FE minus FEF GE and plus FGE. Now what we can do is we can write EFG as G minus I. So it will be I minus FE minus F, and this is G minus I into E and plus FGE, which is I minus FE minus FGE, and this is plus FE plus FGE. Now this FG will cancel, FE will also cancel. So this is equal to I. That means this option B, it is also correct. Now for this option D, we just have this minus sign here. So if we change this minus sign here, it will be minus FE, here will be plus, and here will be this minus. So if we take plus sign here and minus sign here, we'll get I minus FE plus FGE minus FE and minus FGE, which is not equal to I. That means this option D is incorrect. Now what about this option A? Now for this option A, we have determinant of I minus FE into determinant of FGE. Now we can write this as determinant of I minus FE, and we can write this as determinant of G into determinant of FE. Now we know that determinant of I minus AB, it is same as determinant of I minus BA, and we can prove it also. So we can write this determinant of I minus FE into E as determinant of E minus determinant of EFE. That is, we have multiplied this E from the left. Now we'll take E common from the right. So it will be determinant of I minus EF into determinant of E. So basically we'll write this as determinant of I minus EF into determinant of G into determinant of FE. Now we multiply this G inside, we'll write this is determinant of G minus EFG, and this is determinant of FE. Now determinant of G minus EFG, it is nothing but it is 1. So this expression will be equal to determinant of FE. That means this option A is also correct. So the correct options are A, B and C. Now here the question is, consider a square matrix A of order 2 which has its elements as 0, 1, 2 and 4. Now if n denotes number of such matrices, possible non-negative value of determinant A is. Now we'll get this non-negative value of this determinant if we have non-zero elements along principal diagonal and then we have 0 at any place and then C. So value of this determinant will be simply AB. Now the possible values of AB are 1 into 2, which are 2, 1 into 4, 4 and 4 into 2, 8. So the possible non-negative value of determinant A are 2, 4 and 8. That means this A, it matches with P, Q and T. Now second is sum of values of determinants corresponding to n matrices. Now number of matrices will be, we have 4 positions and we have 4 elements. These 4 elements can be arranged in factorial 4 ways, which is 24. Now if we add all these n matrices for any corresponding matrix A, B, C, D, then we have a corresponding matrix C, D, A, B. Now if determinant of this one is delta, then here it will be minus delta. So we have a corresponding matrix with same numerical value with opposite sign. So we add them, its sum will be 0. So we'll have 12 such pairs, which means sum of determinants of all such matrices will be simply 0. So this B, it matches with S. So this B, it matches with S. Now this third one is, if absolute value of determinant A is least, then possible value of adjoint of adjoint of adjoint A is. Now least value of this determinant will be either 2 or minus 2. So absolute value of determinant A will be simply 2. Now we need to find possible value of mod of adjoint of adjoint of adjoint A. Now this is determinant of A to the power n minus 1 to the power r. Now this is determinant of A, which is 2. Now n in this case is 2. So n minus 1 is 1 to the power r. R here is 3. This value is equal to 2. So that means this C, it matches with P. So this C, it matches with P. And here we are not talking about absolute value of A. So if least absolute value is 2, then value of determinant A can be plus 2 or minus 2. So it can also be this minus 2. So this C, it matches with P and R. And then D is, if determinant of A is least, then possible value of determinant of 4A inverse. Now least value of this determinant it'll be when you have 4 and 2 here. So it'll be 0 and 1 in any configuration and 4 and 2 in any configuration along these two diagonals. So its minimum value will be -8. Now we need to find the value of 4 into determinant of A inverse. Now this is 4 square into determinant of A inverse. So it will be 4 square upon determinant of A. So it will be 16. 16 divided by -8 and it will be -2. So this D, it matches with R. So this D, it matches with R. And that is the answer to this question. Now this is the question. It was asked in JEE Advanced and the question is, let M and N be two 3x3 non-singular skew-symmetric matrices such that Mn equals Nm, and if Pt denotes the transpose of P, then this expression is equal to which of the following? Now there is a problem in the question setup. In the question setup, they have mentioned that M and N, they are 3x3 non-singular skew-symmetric matrix, and we know that a skew-symmetric matrix of odd order, it is always singular. So determinant of M, it must be 0, and determinant of N, it must also be 0. Due to this factual mistake, bonus marks was awarded to the students. But still this problem is a fine problem if we disregard this odd order. So we'll just say M and N, they are non-singular skew-symmetric matrices such that Mn equals Nm, then this expression reduces to what? Now what we are given is, we are given M square N square M transpose N inverse into M N inverse transpose. Now we can write this as M transpose N square, and this is N inverse into M transpose inverse, and here will be N inverse transpose into M transpose. Now N into N inverse, it is I, so we can write this as M square N, and M transpose is minus M, so it will be minus M inverse, and this is N transpose inverse, and M transpose is again minus M. Now minus and minus, it will be plus, so we write this as M square N, and this is M inverse, and N transpose is minus N, so it will be minus N inverse into M. Now we'll take minus out, so it will be M square N, and this is M inverse, and here will be N inverse into M. Now in the question it says Mn is equal to Nm, so we can actually write this as M into Mn, and we'll write this Mn as N into M, so it will be N into M into M inverse, N inverse into M. Now M into M inverse, it will be this I. Now this N into N inverse will also be I. So this entire expression will reduce to minus M square, and which is your option C. So if we eliminate this condition that it is a 3x3 matrix, then it becomes a fine problem whose answer is this option C.